The Javelin S-15 is a technically advanced ground-to-air missile system. Javelin's primary role is to provide protection against low-level air threats. It can also be used against light armor, soft-skin vehicles, and field fortifications. Hand-carried, Javelin can be in action within seconds. Javelin is rugged, accurate, and aggressive.
Arcs!
Javelin has proved itself in NATO operations around the world in support of land and sea operations. A full Javelin detachment consists of 3 personnel. Number 1, the detachment commander. Number 2, the operator. Number 3, the driver communicator. A Javelin troop is composed of 6 detachments. The troop commander coordinates the activities of the troop. This video outlines the responsibilities of the troop commander and duties of the detachment members during field deployment.
Charlie 1-1, this is 1, air defense warning order.
The sequence begins when the HQ issues a warning order to the troop commander. On receipt of the warning order, the troop commander conducts an initial time appreciation. With this assessment completed, the troop commander issues a warning order to his troop sergeant major, the TSM.
1 Alpha, 15 minutes, 1 Bravo, ammo point, grid, November.
This order will give the TSM as much information as possible, including impending tasks, and the location and time of the rendezvous.
Try to move!
When the prepare to move order is issued, either by the troop commander or the TSM, all equipment is removed except for 2 missiles, the aiming unit, the radio, and the number 1's stores. After receiving orders, the troop commander completes a detailed time appreciation and map study. This would normally be followed by a reconnaissance, which includes liaison with other units.
Coming behind your positions, your rear echelon, and deploy just...
Planning completed. A time for ceasefiring is calculated by the troop commander.
1 Charlie, in location, 1 Delta, grid, Alpha, Charlie, Juliet, Delta, Sierra, November, Victor, Sierra, Yankee.
1 Alpha, cease firing now, out! Cease firing! Fired!
When the cease-firing order is received, the detachment secures all remaining equipment and prepares to move to the position of assembly selected by the TSM. The position of assembly is occupied in alphanumerical order, with vehicles staggered along the route. When all detachments have arrived, the TSM takes control and leads the Javelin troop to the rendezvous. The rendezvous should be 1,000 to 1,500 meters away from the vital point, and it should have natural camouflage. Vehicles should approach the rendezvous from the opposite side of the threat. In the rendezvous, the detachment commanders are responsible for adherence to dispersion and noise policies. They also ensure that the track plan is maintained and sentries placed. All deck commanders report to the center of the RV to meet with the troop commander.
Okay, troops, orders. Situation, no change.
At this orders group, the troop commander provides the detailed information necessary for the detachment commander to carry out their tasking. Much of this information is contained on the weapon sight data cards. At the conclusion of the orders, the Javelin detachments proceed without delay to their assigned sites.
Go. 1 Alpha, cease firing! 1 Bravo, cease firing!
The detachment vehicle should be driven as close to the site as possible without jeopardizing the tactical value of the detachment position.
Let's go, let's go!
The operator carries one missile, as well as the aiming unit and a lithium battery. The detachment commander carries one missile in its field handling container, along with necessary communications equipment and stores to an interim position.
Load!
The driver communicator removes and camouflages the carrier before bringing up the remaining equipment.
Arcs!
Lift the verk. Small tree.
Seen.
No, lift the verk. Ready verk. Small bush.
Seen.
Okay. Going back to 100-meter recce.
The detachment commander then reports ready to the troop command post. He then completes a 100-meter recce to determine the best alternate position, rest area, and misfire pit. Recce completed. The detachment commander prepares the battle board and establishes the work routine. With the detachments in the right place, at the right time, properly equipped, briefed, and ready to fight, the troop commander has successfully dealt with the fundamental matter confronting commanders, the question of time and space.
Target, reference hill!
Seen.
Hostile! Engage!
The Javelin is an effective air defense weapon system. As such, Javelin is an important component of fighting forces in Canada and around the world.
Well, that was intense. Did you hear that riff at the end right when they were about to fire?
That was amazing. I absolutely loved it. My favorite part is how it goes from an F4 Phantom to an F-15. Like I'm like,
yeah. And then it cuts right as the missile's about to strike.
yeah. I'm like, who are we fighting?
Oh, you never know.
Anything. I don't know if we were supposed to hear the audio, but I wasn't getting any audio out of it.
Well, I could hear it. Could you guys? Mark, could you hear it? Yeah.
I could hear it. Yeah, it was in mono, not stereo.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's why I've only got the one earbud in. It's probably just on the left channel.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. Wow. Welcome to episode 54 of the First Focal Plate podcast, your number one source for all things skullduggery and surface air missiles, apparently. So.
Skullduggery and surface air
I
missiles?
think
Yes. You know, because they're separate.
I think the troop commander's mustache, like in and of itself, could have fired the javelin missile. Like it was incredible. It was like just that big bushy,
right at the points, like right there. Yeah, just
it was
bushy, ready to go, and then it probably was the missile itself. It's just mustache.
Just lying mustache. Oh, that's too funny.
Boy, I'm ready to go, huh?
Right, but finally, been busy working throughout the whole video, and you didn't.
I was trying to get it done so quick. I really wanted to mount some of the Picatinny rails in the QD Cup, but that's going to have to wait.
Beggars can't be choosers, right?
No.
On what? A surprise?
Yeah. Title of the show is probably not much of a surprise.
We will get to that. But first thing first,
the surprise is that just before we move on, is that poor Mr. Rooster's not here tonight.
Yeah, the fire's melted his fiber, so he can't.
The fire's melted his fiber. Yeah. For those who don't know, there are plenty of fires a little bit north of us, and that's coincidentally just where the Rooster happens to be.
That's right.
So his internet is Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
And so Mr. Mark Soloway is filling in for him tonight.
Everyone say hi to Mark. There he is.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Say hi, Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Anyway. Well, let's go back to the standard layout. There we go. Okay, let's pay some bills here. So, first things first, as always, EM Precision Rifles in Leduc, Alberta, Canada. They are Canada's premier precision builder of lightweight hunting rifles, starter packages, ELR rigs, and other things, I guess. They're coming out with those Howa minis that are can't remember what they're called, but they're in that JTAC chassis. It looks sweet. But see, like yours, Kris, that folder.
Yeah,
I don't like that in a mini.
I actually don't either.
Yeah, like that.
Well, I mean, for a hunting rifle, fine, great. It'll be easy to put in my backpack and get out to base camp. But like we're talking about the SIG Cross for anybody who's not sure what we're talking about. But their SIG is advertising it as a hunting and precision rifle, and I just don't understand where the precision part comes in.
Yeah.
Like, I did not get this thing at all for precision shooting. And it's really not. I mean, we'll get into it later, but.
Well, the barrel length just isn't there. But anyway, we'll get into it. If you want to build a custom precision rig, EM Precision Rifles is your way to go. They are the exclusive distributor for Curtis Custom Actions, based out of Texas. Curtis Custom is, and they are the official action of the 2021 Precision Rifle Series. So congrats to Chase and his crew there. And if you want a Curtis Axiom, or a Scout that's coming in, if you want to get more of a budget action, hit up Shane, emprifles.ca. They're also on Facebook, Instagram as well, EMP Rifles or EM Precision Rifles. So
are they on the twits?
They're not, thank God.
That's
what a shithole that is.
Yeah.
Twitter. Anyway.
Twitter.
No.
Literally a live action dumpster fire. Like it's just,
yes, dump fire. Yeah, you sounded it perfectly. It doesn't even. It's just garbage.
It's literally the entire dump is on fire. Yeah.
Like for my work, I have to monitor that stuff because a lot of growers they'll put it on and they'll complain on there first. So I regret every time I go on there, every single time.
I hear you.
Anyway.
So
speaking of dumpster fires, can we? Are we allowed to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse for a second?
By all means, go ahead.
For those who don't know who Kyle Rittenhouse is, he's the youngster that while Antifa was trying to burn Wisconsin, it was Wisconsin, right?
Yes, I think so.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Because Kenosha, the town was Kenosha, yeah. So he was the kid that had joined a group that was trying to protect local businesses and all of this kind of stuff, and some people went after him, and pretty safe to say they tried to at least injure him, more likely tried to hospitalize him, potentially tried to kill him, and he ended up shooting 3 people and killing 2 of them in defense of himself, my opinion. And it appears as though I don't know if this has actually been announced yet, but the scuttlebutt is that he's going to be either acquitted or the charges are going to be dropped.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, one of the things I heard was that they were the only real charge that they even thought they could get him on was underage gun possession. Right. That turned out to be, I believe, last week or the week before, a judge was basically saying like, this is just not a thing that's going to count. Like,
it had something to do with the he didn't cross a state line with the rifle or something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if it was about state. What I had heard is it was an underage thing, and the whole state line thing is that he's from a town over, which is technically in a different state. But the biggest issue that I heard was that that he was not allowed to be in possession of his rifle because of, and actually it's kind of like my understanding was it was due to the length, but it basically fell apart because the rifle was well within the parameters of what would be acceptable. So it was kind of like this whole argument is just, it's a moot, it's a cow's opinion,
we'll
right?
We'll have to see matter. what the judge actually says, because the analysis that I had seen was that in order for it to be illegal there's something about him being out of state, but then there was something about it wasn't his rifle.
Right.
So and it'd be interesting to see what actually comes of it and whether it actually gets dropped. But the reason that I thought of it is we were talking about dumpster fires, and it reminded me of the video footage right before the first guy went after Rittenhouse. I can't remember the guy's name. I try not to remember.
Yeah.
Antifa members.
We're talking about the guy who was like a convicted, was it rapist or sex offender of some sort?
Yeah.
Pedophile.
Yeah.
He was a convicted criminal anyways.
Yeah.
And a couple of minutes before he goes after Rittenhouse, somebody had caught on webcam. This guy is pushing a dumpster that's literally been lit on fire towards a gas station pump, and he was going to ram it into the gas station pump. Yeah. And Rittenhouse runs over and with a fire extinguisher and puts out the dumpster. So he literally put out a dumpster fire. And
then brought one on himself.
Well, that was why that was one of the reasons that these folks engaged with him, is my understanding, is that he put out the fire.
The first guy did.
Right. He put out the fire, and then basically that's where the altercation began. That's my understanding.
That's right. That seems pretty clear, because like the timestamps of there's two different sources of video. Mm-hmm. The one source of video catches the convicted criminal, whatever his name was, trying to push the dumpster fire towards a gas station, and Rittenhouse putting it out. And then a second source of video, obviously very shortly after that, is the one that shows Rittenhouse trying to run away from the guy. Mm-hmm. And the guy throws something at Rittenhouse and then corners him between a couple of cars, and then literally gets shot while holding the barrel of Rittenhouse's rifle, trying to pull it out of his possession. Nice. And then what appeared to happen after that was that most other people didn't really see what led to it. All they saw was that this kid shot this guy, and then they decided to mob him. Yeah, you know, the guy who the one guy who didn't get shot because he ran away as soon as Rittenhouse it was the one guy who did get shot and killed, I think, was the one who was holding the skateboard. Got shot while trying to bean him over the head with a skateboard.
Got shot in the shoulder.
Is that the guy? Yeah. No, the guy who got shot in the arm was the one who actually pulled a Glock on.
Oh, that's right. Was it a Glock or a thing? Anyway, it was a compact.
It was a handgun anyway. Yeah. And he literally got shot while pointing a handgun at Rittenhouse.
And the one guy who got shot that survived was interviewed in the hospital and was literally quoted as saying that my biggest regret is that I didn't
pull the trigger.
Yeah, that I didn't kill him. Right. Yeah. So like. The argument for self-defense is pretty clear.
Yeah. Like, anyway, it made me think of dumpster fires.
Well, a lot of those problems, Kris, could have been avoided by some coffee.
That's right. It calms everything down, right? Yeah. And if you need to calm things down, you can get into the Precision Specialty Coffee game with Bolt Action Coffee. Hand-loaded weekly to ensure quality of consistent flavor and freshness, Bolt Action Coffee is roasted and packaged on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then all orders are shipped on Thursdays. What that means is order your coffee on Tuesday or Wednesday, and by the time you get it on Thursday, it's fresh, tickety-boo, ready to go, and then drink it. Tickety-boo.
Yeah, take it so you don't start a dumpster fire in Wisconsin.
Exactly. And also so you don't become a convicted criminal for some sort of sex offense that I can't remember exactly what it was.
Right.
Or just join Antifa.
Just don't join Antifa.
Rob and Miles are listening to this, just be like, oh, why are you sponsoring these guys?
Anyway, this process
you don't want to be a pedophile, drink Bolt Action.
Well, the point is
that you're not a pedophile.
Can I finish the ad read?
Go ahead, sir.
The point is that this process ensures supplier order volumes match customer order volumes and prevents aging on the shelf. Specially brewed with the precision shooting community in mind, choose between Scopes Up, Overwatch, Suppressed, and the aptly named Midnight Canoe Trip. Commuter trip. No. To the train station. Bolt Action Coffee also has Yeti mugs to go. Yeti to go mugs, regular mugs, stickers, flags, and shirts. When you are on their website and getting your coffee at checkout, use the code FIRSTFOCALPLANE, all one word, for 10% off your order, because who wants to pay taxes anyways?
Yeah, and by doing so directly helps the show.
That does directly help the show, which allows us to get more silly things and talk about them like we're going to be talking about a couple of different things on the show tonight.
Until next week. Yeah. They pull their sponsorship.
And you can you can find Bolt Action Coffee on Facebook, Instagram, and on their website at boltactioncoffee.com.
So before we go on.
I would like to say that our comments about Kyle Rittenhouse are our comments and our comments alone, and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of any of our sponsors.
That's right. There you go. So Sarah got my birthday was on Wednesday,
Yeah.
Tuesday. And Sarah got me this little guy. This is a Yeti koozie. A koozie.
There you go.
But there's one slight problem with this. So, there's no stickers on it yet, but that's going to change. But I
got a SIG Sauer sticker you can have.
Oh, shit. That would be a good starter. Anyway,
Should've
so
left
it's a
with you.
koozie, and then the lid goes on, and you screw it on, right?
Nice. Yeah.
But there's one problem with this. I drink beer too fast for this to work.
You're like, my beer is always cold. I don't even know why. This is
No, Sean, you don't understand. That's for the last beer of the night. When you pass out halfway through, it'll still be cold in the morning for a little bit of hair of the dog. That's right. Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Well, speaking of sponsors, our show is today brought to you by Call Sign 66. It is a veterans-based organization founded to facilitate multi-generational passage of information, ballistics application R&D, and shooter development. The omnidirectional passage of information is key to the community's success and growth, as our organizational philosophy is such that we all have something to offer. Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Oh, he didn't know the joke.
I don't know the joke.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Oh, welcome to the Brotherhood.
Is that a joke, or is that just being badass?
That's
Welcome.
just, yeah.
You always got to say it. Welcome to the Brotherhood. We can't say Brotherhood of Steel, but still, welcome to the Brotherhood.
Why can't we?
Welcome to the Brotherhood of Steel.
It's our Brotherhood. We can do what we want.
Find them on
you
Facebook.
guys are going to get Call Sign 66 sued by fucking not Interplay. Interplay doesn't own it anymore.
Bethesda's so disorganized they wouldn't be able to sue anybody anyway.
That's right. They're too busy fixing the bugs in the
half
last
of
game.
nothing. They come and take all of our assets, which is nothing. Yeah.
Exactly. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and their website, callsign66.ca. What a great organization too, right? Like just
100%.
It's so good. I was last week 2 weeks ago after the show, I did a little bit of just checking on their website, and good stuff. So
and if I had a couple G notes that I was willing to drop that I wouldn't want to buy guns or components on, this is like that goes to them. It will go to them. 100%. Yeah. I'm just a poor bastard. So anyway, but if you want to shoot better, check them out. Callsign66.ca. And last but certainly not least, the geniuses behind the Canuck line of firearms. Odell Engineering is your premium importer and distributor of some of Canada's top brands, including Bergera, RIA, Rock Island Armory, Mission First Tactical, MFT, Hyperfire, and of course the made for Canada Canuck firearms. Rely on Odell Engineering's expertise in the Canadian market to provide you the best quality firearms and firearm accessories. Firearms, accessories, okay. Find their products. That's a Hank Hill, but it was a poor Hank Hill. It was more like the counselor from.
I was going to say it sounded like the school counselor from South Park.
South Park, yeah. Find their
firearms, okay.
Yeah, firearms, okay. Find their products and a dealer carrying said products at www.odellengineeringltd.com, on Facebook at Odell Engineering Ltd, or walk into your local gun store and tell them Phil sent you. So
I got two things to say. First thing, I really need to save up for a Canuck operator.
Hell yeah.
Second thing, Antifa is bad, okay?
Antifa's bad, okay?
When I was on the show before, you guys were showing the operator, like, that's beautiful. I actually own a Churchill, and God, I love that shotgun. Like, it's just,
but it's no operator. There wasn't an operator we were showing. We were showing the Renegade. Yeah,
pardon me. Yes, but yeah, I just like, I got the Churchill, and man, that thing is just, it's so nice. There's actually, I think, footage of us somewhere shooting it, or maybe pictures, literally firing deer slugs out of it, and it was just like 2 inches of fire, and it's just smooth action, beautiful freaking shotgun. Love it. So,
but not made by Canuck.
That is
not the Churchill.
No, the Churchill's rebranded. They're probably made in the same factory, but
yeah, they're both Turkish.
It was Canuck when I bought it.
No, it wasn't. Mine's a Canuck. My regulator Defender is Canuck. Churchill is just Turkish.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my bad.
It's just another brand, right?
Yeah.
But
second best shotgun.
Well, because I saw a video of who's the tall bastard who shoots in Tennessee? Haycock 45. He was shooting the same shotgun rebranded for the States. At his range, shooting slugs out of it too and stuff. So Yeah,
Nice.
it's just they're great. If it's good enough for Hickok, it's good enough for us. So
Well, I can't lie. The Churchill is a pretty nice little shorty pump.
well, and I want to put this guy on it on mine because I've had 0 hits on it, and I just why not, right? Just
hey,
anyway.
do we care about if we risk getting kicked off of YouTube anymore?
Nope, don't care.
Okay.
Sorry
Well,
for
then hang
all
on a
4
sec.
of you watching live right now.
It's show and tell time, okay?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we saw the code.
Did you?
Joke's on you, bud.
His code is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shit! I gotta change my luggage code.
Hang on, need earbuds.
Oh, racks a live round out of the chamber.
There we go. Nobody's touched anything. I want to clear it on the screen in case anybody's concerned.
Nice.
Visual, yeah.
Chamber, it's safe. This is a safe direction. This is a safe direction. It's all safe directions. Anyways, I can't stand it when people make those comments.
I know.
Like, just like fuck off and do your own show.
Yeah, that's right.
And like, there's people on YouTube like talking to like Grand Thumb and fucking Demolition Ranch. Is like, oh, you should have pointed your gun in another direction. You should have showed me that it was safe. Fuck you.
GTFO. Yeah,
that's right. This is the Canuck, the regulator defender, and I've got a bird's head. This one comes with the stock and with the bird's head, but this is the first generation of this thing. Although I don't know how it's like serial number is in the 7,000s. So like they must have put out a lot of these things before they changed them because they've got like a knockoff Magpul looking stock now.
So does mine. Mine has one with an adjustable cheek riser on it. And actually its shoulder is really nice. It really does. It fits me perfect. And I was gonna I've got this knockoff aim point. This guy here, like a Comp M2 knockoff that I was gonna put on it, and then because it's got a cheek riser, so it's got this cantilever mount, which is awesome. Yeah, and then just fucking wham.
That looks like a Strike Fire.
No, it does. It does. And then, but the way you know that this is a knockoff is because of the turrets or the battery knobs are different. Oh, yeah. And then what else? And then this also is aim points only come in red. And this has a green setting as well. So that's how you know it's a knockoff.
The Strike Fire does have red and green.
Yeah, for sure. But
it's like that. It's like that Simpsons episode of the Sorny. This would be the Stike Fire.
The Stike Fire.
Well, it would be the AM point or something.
The AM point Stike Fire.
They should have called it that. Come on, China, get with it. Start naming your knockoffs better. Sean is holding the AM point Stike Fire.
I'm here to shoot him, Terry. It just has one extra chromosome.
One chromosome makes a big difference.
That's right. But that Canuck I got is actually for sale on Gun Nuts. So, or if you guys are interested, throw me an offer. Worst I can say is no.
People. It's got a breacher muzzle brake on it.
Yeah, it's got that little goofy spike on the end in case you want to poke a hole in a piece of foam or something. So
I thought that so Dan Vollmer just he commented, he said aim point has a red dot made for the rib of a shotgun barrel, which is cool. But for some reason, when I read that very quickly out of the corner of my eye, I thought that he was telling us that aim point is made of the rib of a shotgun barrel. I was like, what the fuck is Dan talking about?
Pulling out the Adam and Eve references, and
that's right.
Aim point was made from the rib of a shotgun barrel.
Aim point, heavenly scopes, optics, whatever.
Scopes. Wow. First day with your new mouth, Kris, or it's all that driving.
And on the 6th day, God created the aim point so I could fight the dinosaurs.
You know what though? Most aim point fanboys would be like, "Yeah, that's true. That's a true story." Why are you laughing? I don't understand.
He put an aim point on his 1911 45, and he went to town on those dinosaurs.
Here's Dad again. He says, "Meth
is a hell of a drug."
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anyway, all right. So
is that
Kris,
uncouth for me to do that? Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the
some wheel time today, and because we graciously we bought you bought from Bullseye North a SIG Cross. So tell us all about it.
Well, I think the first thing that we can say is, Bullseye is not a sponsor of ours.
It should be.
We just really like those folks. We keep buying stuff from them because they're cool people. But I bought this. Hang on a second here, because this is for the safety fanboys at home. That's step one.
Oh, but he hasn't racked the bolt yet. Oh, he didn't stick his finger in the chamber.
Oh, and you also need to stare down the barrel, right? Are you supposed to stare down the barrel?
Now you can observe the chamber.
Did you hear a slight when you stuck your finger in the barrel?
I think the point is that now everybody has observed the chamber, and now they can just shut the fuck up.
That's right.
Because this is a clear gun. But this is, people either know about this thing or they don't know at all about this thing. I've kind of realized that. I tell some people that I was buying a SIG Cross, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've researched all on that, and do you know about this, and do you know about the recall, and do you know all about that, and blah 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 blah." And then you tell another person, who like, "What's a SIG Cross? I don't even know what that thing is."
Yeah, exactly.
So you either know about it or you don't, I think, right now. But this is my new 6.5 pound hunting rifle.
Nice.
Short, light.
So what it is, I'll describe it for those who don't know very quickly, because those who do know are going to change the channel. But this is a 308 bolt action hunting and precision rifle.
Yeah.
New, relatively new. It's a little over a year old, from SIG. And their whole shtick here is that they're trying to create lightweight, not chassis, but aluminum receiver based bolt action rifles to be
that is
as
the
light as
chassis
possible.
Right?
No, it's not.
No?
This is all one piece receiver.
Really?
Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's one piece receiver. Now, obviously they didn't create this. This is done before them by Q. They make a bolt action rifle very similar to this called the Fix.
Yeah, we had Armand show us last week.
Yeah, those who joined us when Arm and Gun was on, they would have seen that. And that is Jens hopes I didn't pay MSRP for it. Why not, Jens? What's wrong with it?
It's Swiss. He doesn't like the Swiss.
I think he was just hoping that
there are two types of people he doesn't like.
Green meanie.
There are two types of people that Jens doesn't like: people who are who hate
intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Swiss.
And the Swiss. 3 and liberals.
Thankfully, the Dutch are getting a pass on this one.
That's right.
They were neutral in World War II, and he still holds a grudge.
Yeah, exactly. So you haven't shot it yet, right?
No, I literally got it home, and I had just enough time. First of all, they greased this up like a pig.
She was sloppy.
It is a bolt action gun, for God's sake, guys. And most of it's aluminum, so chill out with the grease. But I had just enough time to take all the grease off of it and to put this Strike Eagle 1-8 on it, which is that's the 1-8. Yeah. Nice. So that's originally I bought the Strike Eagle pre-ban when I was going to be building a Stag 10. And that was going to be my hunting rifle to replace my Remington 700. Then Bill B. Liar and Turdo did their thing, and they got rid of the Stag that I didn't even have yet. And so then I put it on the MRA Maverick, which I don't have anymore.
Nope.
Right now. I'll be getting it back. I just had a minor hiccup with it. It's with MRA. We'll let everybody. We'll tell everybody all
that a little bit.
We'll spill the whole beans once it comes back. But it was a minor hiccup, and so yeah, it's with Maverick or with MRA right now. So I obviously can't use that as a hunting rifle. And then I figured out about the SIG Cross, and I was like, man, that's so much lighter.
Well, and there's another factor. C71 was coming into play right before you ordered it, right?
Well, that's true. I was going to wait. I wasn't going to order any more guns for a little while. But there's a couple of things that I don't like. And one of them is, the government up in my business. So what I did is I bought it before C71 comes into play and then plastered it all over the internet.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Nimrod.
Oh, well.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter. This is just a bolt action hunting rifle. Like I really don't see them coming after this one, but
who knows? That'll be a high powered sniper rifle. It's a 30 caliber, which is a military cartridge. I'm
knocking on wood right now. I'm knocking on wood. And then I also got another one that I don't intend to keep. So I'm okay showing it on the internet. And we can talk about that in a little bit. And that's the WK-180C that, it seems like it? What's that?
Why don't you want to keep it?
Oh, I only got it to review.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm still holding out for an RDB.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which unfortunately will be part of the new long gun registry by the time it comes. But yeah,
exactly.
But yeah. So anyway, this SIG Cross, I think this thing is going to be incredible, and I've been slacking off a little bit on my reviews. I think that I'll have the Gray Birch review out by, I suspect, next week. I've got so much content for the Gray Birch at this point. I just have to edit it all together. I've used that rifle so much. I did take it, the Gray Birch, just in case anybody's still cares about that thing. I took it out to a maple seed the other week, and somebody qualified rifleman with it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was cool. Yeah, SIG Cross. It's going to be awesome.
What do you think? What are your initial thoughts on it? Like it's light. It's
well, there's no question it's light. So it's, first of all, 16-inch barrel. When I look at other reviews on the internet, some people say that it's just not that accurate. They can't get better than like 2 MOA out of it. And then other people are getting like 3/4 of an MOA, or one reviewer was even claiming that he was getting half MOA out of it at 100. I think I read one other review where he basically just said that this thing is just incredibly picky when it comes to ammunition. And I suspect that that's probably going to be the case.
So what are you going to shoot out of it then?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to test 4 different types of ammunition. I'm going to be testing Herders because you have to. It's the cheapest factory stuff on the market right now. I'm going to be testing Hertenberger because you have to test Austrian surplus. And then I'm going to be testing 2 different types of reloads. One will be with Hornady boat tail full metal jackets, 149 grains, not match. So, it's not going to be a match reload, just a reload. And the other one will be with 178 grain ELDX from Hornady. So we'll see how that goes.
You got to get some 168 Sierra Match Kings and some 175 TMKs. That would be good.
Well, do it. Let's do it up. If you guys can find me the bullets, I'll load them up. Jens is making fun of me, by the way. Jens, Mr. Long Range Precision. He's trying to guilt me into buying his green meanie. What's it chambered in again, Jens?
6x47, I think.
That sounds about right.
I think it's 6x47 Lapua, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway. But he's making fun of my gun. He doesn't think I'll get a half MOA out of the SIG Cross. But I'll tell you this. Your average PRS gun weighs what, about 15, 16, 28 times more than this gun does?
Yeah.
The folding stock is stiff as hell.
Sure.
Well,
let them show you struggle with it.
You know what? I've been playing with it, so now it'll probably fold no problem. But like, I'm not a weak little dude, and I'm
when I picked it up,
I got to do it like off camera, and then I can get it folded.
But it's got that little notch. Show them how the bolt, it fits in that little notch in the skeletonized stock.
I think pretty cool. Yeah. That is pretty nice because if you don't have it loaded, then you can't cock it.
That's right. And it'll fit in the safe nicely. Ooh,
Yeah.
sorry.
One thing I will say though, so you guys saw me clear this, and you saw the chamber was empty, and there's no magazine when I closed the bolt, but it does still fire, which I wouldn't expect it not to.
Well, there's a deer. Bam.
Exactly. But if you're out backpacking with this, and you've got it closed, you can just flip the safety on.
Nice.
Yeah, and the safety's ambi, and it's similar to an AR. It's in the same spot as an AR manual of arms.
Yeah, and it's like you just said, ambidextrous, similar to an AR. It is 90-degree throw, but like quit being wimps, guys. 40. Yeah. It's an extra 45 degrees.
Who cares?
Yeah, don't be
practice,
sissies.
and you won't be stupid with it.
Oh, I could have got that deer if it wasn't for that 45 degrees.
Yeah, 100%.
Not that hard. If I can do it one-handed, it's not that hard.
Like an AR.
Like an AR. So yeah, the stock is definitely stiff though. Takes regular AR-15 grips. So if you want to put, one of your Ergo Pro or whatever the hell they are, or a Magpul,
skeletonized ones, the F1s,
skeletonized, whatever you want. Although, like, you really don't need to make this thing any lighter than it is.
I'd take those goofy rail covers off if it were me. But
I'm going to. I didn't have time to. Yeah, this is the dumbest ass ever. They're just plastic, and I haven't really looked at them.
Maybe they're patches. I don't know.
No, they're not. I'm pretty sure they're just clipped into the rail. So I could probably just pull them out. But
the rail is M-lock, it looks like. So
yeah, it's M-lock on 4 sides.
Yep.
The 4 linear sides. It has a barrel nut with a barrel extension, self-indexing barrel extension system. Basically,
what's a barrel nut?
AR. What's the barrel nut? We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So the idea is they're supposed to be able to swap barrels eventually, the same as you would with an AR. They're making it in 2 calibers right now. The 308 and 6.5. The 308 is a 16-inch barrel. The 6.5 is a 18-inch barrel. And I don't know how long the 277 Fury is supposed to be when they come out with that. But
wait. They're making it in a 270?
277 Fury.
Oh, 277 Fury. Okay. I'm like,
yeah. The civilian 6.8.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool.
So anyway, that's the SIG Cross. I think first looks, I think it's the tits, to be honest with you. I think I'm really going to enjoy trudging through the snow this winter, hunting with it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, good buy. Good purchase. Support Bullseye if you can. And
I think so.
Go from there.
Did you say Ken?
Support them if you can.
Oh, support them if you can. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, well, what's a barrel nut, Mark?
Oh, man. So
okay, well, we got to start at the beginning here. So
yeah,
you have a 180C, a WK 180C, Mark.
I do, yes.
I just got one to review.
That's right.
And so that's the segue.
Yeah. So from that segue, we decided, well, to back up the train. So the WK, as lots of people know, has had issues that are all over the internet, everything from heavy trigger to all these different malfunctions, extractor issues. There's been recalls, all on and on. So anyway, one of the things that it has is a nylon bushing in where the piston moves through the gas system.
To the gas piston,
from the gas piston, and so it's nylon. It's fucking plastic, right? So these are known to break, and they know that it breaks down so often that they actually send you an extra one. And
they actually send you multiple extra parts, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, they do. They send you basically, you can almost replace your entire gas system, like all the locks and nuts,
all the
and everything.
Small parts.
Yeah, all the small parts. Anyway. And so I see this, and I really do want to use this gun out in the winter, shooting coyotes or even going boar hunting with it. And that's been
winter
one of
squirrels.
Winter squirrels, all that kind of stuff. Man, they're nasty. They got big fucking teeth. Anyway, and and what I wanted to do is so I want to take this gun out in the winter. And I'm like, man, everybody says the plastic, it breaks, right? Like, and that's where it happens. Now,
you mean that having a metal piston rod slamming into it in sub-zero temperatures is going to cause nylon to break?
I know it's
weird.
It's super weird, super strange. So anyway, this is an issue. It's well known. So True North actually has a brass bushing that you
True
can
North
replace
Arms.
it with.
Yeah.
True North Arms. True North Arms has a brass bushing that you can replace.
Let's be really clear here. True North Arms seems to be making a number of aftermarket parts to fix the inherent factory problems with the WK.
Right. Yeah. Like there's lots of stuff you can get from TNA. Right. So every time I'm like tits and ass, like I'm sorry. Exactly. Like, every time I've got the mind of a child. Anyway. So they have this brass bushing. Right. So I'm like, okay, well, I gotta replace this brass bushing. I want to go hunting in the winter with it for the zombie apocalypse. I'm going to need it. So let's just get it done. Right. So I ordered this brass bushing, and I got a comment on True North for a second. True North Arms, like, oh my God, you want to talk about good customer service from them?
Yep.
I bought it, and we're talking like a $3 part, and I bought it from them, and there was a mess up in my address, and the guy's like, nope, not a problem, and it was my fault, and he's like, not a problem, I'll send you a new one. So he sends me a new one. And there was a second screw up on the address, which was their fault. And I let him know, and he's like, yep, not a problem. Like, he sent me out 3 things. You know, it was all snail mail. It wasn't high end, but it was just the fact that he was so willing to do it for me. So total shout out to them. Anyway, so here we are. Brass bushing has arrived. Kris has his WK. We get together. We're going to strip them down and install these brass bushings. Now, to do the brass bushing, you actually have to take the entire gun apart and get down right to the receiver. And you actually have to do a little bit of drilling to get the brass. So the brass
bushing is the same outside. Is not the same outside diameter as the nylon one, because it's the same inside diameter and it's thicker.
That's right. Yeah. And so the idea is that you drill in a little bit, it comes in, it goes flush, and then you can put the whole thing back together. Right.
Yeah.
So we've got my gun, it's got about 3,000 rounds through it. And then you got Kris's gun, brand new, out of the box.
25 rounds through it.
25 rounds. Yeah. Basically brand new. So we take my gun apart, the whole thing. We go through the whole process. And so what happened is we were going to do this 3 weeks ago, and we were trying to get the barrel nut off, and we just didn't have a proper wrench. So we literally ordered the proper crow's foot wrench. Thank you. And so we have all the proper tools to do this, right?
For the record, I didn't have the proper crow's foot wrench because I had to give it to somebody.
Yes, which we will discuss at a later date when you find out. And so we literally bought the goddamn wrench to do this process. So there we are. We've got the gun taken apart. We've got it held down, the whole thing. It's ready to go. And we try to take this barrel nut off. And like, I'm 308 pounds, right? Like, I am by no means a small person. And I put enough torque on there that barrel nut should have come off. And
instead, it just started flexing the receiver.
Literally started flexing the receiver, which I didn't want to cause any more or any damage at all. And it got to a point where I was torquing on it, and the crow's foot spread apart, and I could not put enough torque on this barrel nut.
I forgot about that it bent your crow's foot.
Literally bent my crow's foot.
Yeah.
So like, I could not get this barrel nut off, and I'm talking like crazy situation. So now I'm sitting here, I've got this gun stripped down, and Kris is like, well, you know what? He started going through the process. He started stripping his down, and I'm like, I'm going to find a smithy, and we're kind of chatting back and forth. We're going to find a smithy to try and get this barrel nut off. Yeah, smithy, right?
So you just like you walked out onto the streets of London, and
that's right. And I was like, I need to find the smithy, and
the ye old smithy shop.
That's right. I stopped off at the pub for a
make sure to grab bread and milk before you come home.
Quart of milk, stick of butter, loaf of bread.
Yeah.
So I now I'm out on this fucking adventure with this stripped down goddamn receiver, trying to figure out how to get this barrel nut off. Right.
So was it 3 or 4 different gunsmiths?
It was 4 in total, 4 different people I contacted. So the first guy, who's known in the city to be one of the best smiths, closed for a few days, piece of paper on his door. I don't know, maybe COVID, maybe vacation, maybe just thought, fuck it.
They're pretty notorious for.
Yeah, I don't feel like working my job or working my business today, and decided to go shooting. I don't fucking know.
That happens, especially on weekends.
Right. Well, it was a Friday, in the morning, but
that's
whatever.
Right, it was a Friday.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, fine. So he's not available. So I get to another gun shop and I bring it in, and to their credit, man, like they're like, hey, well, we'll try, but probably won't be able to help you, right? So they put it on the jig. They're at it. They're trying to get it off, and they can't do it, right? And so at this point, I'm like, fuck. And he's like, honestly, you're gonna have to heat your barrel. And I'm like, okay, well, we're not going there yet, right? So fine, whatever.
Just fire take a vice out to the range.
Fuck.
Just rapid fire 3 magazines full, then try to take your barrel nut off.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That's how Bubba would do it.
Right? And so I'm like, son of a bitch. So then I call another gunsmith that I know, and he was a gun, or is a gunsmith.
He was a recommendation.
He was a recommendation. No, well, yeah, okay. So he was a recommendation from a guy that I knew who used to be a gunsmith that's no longer a gunsmith. Anyway, and it was a recommendation. So I call this guy, and I shit you not, I'm like, yeah. So I have a barrel nut that won't come off of my WK. And he's like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, a barrel nut? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you don't know what a barrel nut is? He's like, yeah, I don't know what a barrel nut is. I'm like, are you like, I'm literally like starting to look around. Like, am I being punked? Like, is he fucking with me?
He's going to point at a closed circuit camera. You see the hidden camera?
Right. Like, I was just like, how the fuck do you not know what a barrel nut is, man? Wow. Like, this is not like, and literally
all I've got to say.
And hold on. I just want to say, I was able to find him on Google listed as a gunsmith. I'm not saying who it is. Like, you're listed as a gunsmith. This isn't just like rando person of the universe, right?
He's a bolt action gunsmith.
Well, clearly, right? Yeah. So finally,
even Jens, Mr. Bolt Action ELR long range, I'm sure knows what a barrel nut is.
You fucking hope so, right? Yeah. So finally, I call this final.
Just trying to include Jens in the conversation. That's all.
So I call this final place in the city, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, you're hooped. If Buddy's not open, you're pretty much screwed." And he goes, "Hey, you know what? I would call Kodiak, right?" So I'm like, "Okay, sounds good." So I get on the horn with Kodiak. So first of all, we get back, we reassemble our guns, and we're like, "Fuck it, let's go to the range, and we'll turn some money into noise at the very least, right?" Yeah. So fine, whatever.
Jen says that the Savage 10 BA comes with a barrel nut, so he definitely knows
what's up. Good. And so we head out to the range, and on the way there, I call Kodiak, and I'm chatting with them, and the conversation kind of goes back and forth in a bunch of different ways, because basically I asked the question, I'm like, so my barrel nut won't come off. What do I need to do? What's your solution, right? And he goes, well, you shouldn't be taking your barrel off anyway. And I'm like, okay, well, why not? And he goes, well, that's not really a user thing. He goes, that should be something done by professionals. It should be done by us. And I'm like, but what if I want to change the barrel out in my rifle? Yeah,
that's
no,
literally what 99% of AR owners do.
Yeah. Right. And I'm like, okay, but like, it's stuck. Is this not a warranty issue or what? He's like, no, it's not a warranty issue. So I was like, but I can't get it off. And I'm like, I've literally done everything next to bringing heat to it, right?
Oh, and by the way, I have to get it off because you're nylon bushing.
Well,
broke.
and and so like this whole nylon bushing conversation is around this as well, right? Like I'm asking about like, hey, this nylon bushing, like it breaks, or at least it's known to break. You guys send extras, and they are saying that they've tested it in cold weather. It doesn't break. That's what it doesn't
break. That's why they give you an extra one when you buy the gun.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, well, mine is broken. Mine is literally chipped. Like the current one that's in my gun is chipped.
Yeah, the flange on it is missing the top of its flange. Yeah,
that's right. So I asked, like, well, how do I replace this? And he gave me the instructions of how to replace it without removing the barrel knot.
Yeah, everybody's got to listen up for this because this is
some
advice.
I'm to cut the edge of the flange of the bushing off, slide it in, and then turn it 180 degrees, and then that will replace it without having to take
the barrel nut only obscures the bottom third of the flange. So you need to take the barrel nut off because it's covering a third of the flange of the bushing. So the solution is don't mess with the
barrel nut.
With the barrel nut, that's not end user stuff for AR pattern anythings. Instead, cut the bottom piece off of the bushing, and then insert it and rotate it at 180 degrees.
Yes. So
I got something they can insert and rotate on.
So I'm sitting here like I'm quite flabbergasted by the whole thing, only because it's like I should be able to take the goddamn barrel knot off this gun, and what they explained was that there's grease. I don't remember exactly what he said, but there's basically grease on it. It heats up, and after a bunch of use, it can really torque.
Yeah, of course. Like, we've all heard about the seized barrel. Yeah,
right.
Barrel
but
knot.
Like we're talking, I have and so that we're clear. Kris, you were able to get yours off at what, 30 pounds, I think, without any issue.
About
35 pounds, like no issue whatsoever. And I understand that I may have to be like a little bit rougher with it or whatever the case might be, but I shouldn't have to send off my gun to them and pay them to get the barrel nut off, as far as I'm concerned. Right.
So also worth noting that before we gave up, we were trying to see like exactly how tight this thing is, right? And we cranked your torque wrench up to what was it, 55 foot-pounds?
I think we only went as high as 45.
45. So but it was like not even close.
No.
Before it made the torque wrench pop. So it's much tighter than 45 foot-pounds on there. And like it can be seized. Like I get that. Like I don't think anybody can blame Kodiak for a seized barrel nut.
No.
But I mean, I think the big takeaway for me with this whole experience is, first of all, this isn't a cheap gun. This is a $1,400 gun.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get we're paying non-restricted tax, small Canadian manufacturer, all that kind of stuff. But this is still a $1,400 gun. I mean, after you pay your theft, you're north of $1,500 for this thing.
Yeah.
And a gun in that price range should not have to be modified just to function properly.
Well, I would disagree with you there, Kris. Yes.
You think
no, you are correct. And the price point shouldn't matter. If you reach out to support should help you in getting you to your resolution, whether you're right or wrong, right? The gun is under warranty. Send it back, and that's when they say, okay, there's a problem here. But we can do it. It's going to cost you because unfortunately it's not covered by warranty. And Mark, if that would have happened, I guarantee you would have been fine with that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and like the gun isn't under warranty now. Apparently there's only a 1 year. Right. So, and like you said, you can pay us, we'll get it off, the whole thing. Right. Which fine. Like if that's the solution, that is the solution. But I guess for me, the frustration is the fact that this bushing is an issue in the first place, right? Yeah. It's like, and we know, and so what ended up happening is I asked a question about like about this brass bushing and with TNA and that sort of thing, right? Because this is the crazy part, is that you can buy the receiver for the WK from TNA that comes with the brass bushing already in it.
Well, that's what I heard today. Is I heard from somebody who has a first generation WK, and he said to me that his came from the factory with a brass bushing. Now, what I'm wondering is, if it's the same dimensions overall as the nylon bushing, and that's just a little bit too thin and a little bit too brittle, and so they replace with a more flexible nylon, which is fine until it gets cold, in which point it's more brittle than the brass would be in the first place.
Well, and this is the thing, there could be like a very like logical reason, and it could not cause me a problem, right? Like let's be honest. I put 3,000 rounds through this gun, right? Like it's not like I haven't shot the hell out of it, and I've literally had 2 stoppages, literally. So, and I do like the WK. Like myself, I really like my gun. Yeah, I know, but I like my gun, right? I think it's pretty, tits. Although mine is like a weird blue for some reason, which I still can't quite figure out. Like
there was a generation of them that came out. I remember Adriel Michaud, the hunting gear guy, was reviewing. Oh no, that wasn't a WK. He was reviewing a BCL 102. That was off blue, the same color as your WK.
Yeah, my WK is blue, so I don't know. But anyway, the point of the matter is I do think that there's obviously a lot of issues around this gun, and it's known on the interwebs for it, and I think that this is something that I ran into that I think needed to be kind of expressed. Like this is not the best way to do this. So
the thing that I don't quite get about it is if somebody else has fixed the problem, and all the problem needs to be fixed is a little bit of a thicker brass, and drilling a 5/16 inch hole instead of whatever size that nylon one is. What I don't quite understand is why it's not fixed at the factory yet. Why are they not making that thicker brass bushing, and why are they not just using a different drill bit when they're drilling out the
exactly
like
and not to defend them, but
no, but we need someone to defend them.
Well, and because I agree with you, it's a bit of a janky platform in the sense that the quality just sometimes isn't there.
Right.
And it varies from one rifle to another. It's not across the board.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If you were to implement, like for example, on a line or a manufacturing line, something as minuscule as that brass bushing, A, you're paying more for material. B, you got to swap out the line. And that all adds money to the end product. And I think what they're trying to do is keep that price point down to a reasonable extent, because you heard what JR was talking about, making like when we had JR Cox on at the Calgary Shooting Center, or not Target Sports Canada, the Shooting Edge, Target Sports Canada, because I don't want to get that wrong, get those two mixed up. But he was saying that it's hard to manufacture something in Canada that
for sure
is going to keep that price point low, so that you don't look at it and be like, oh shit, that's a $2,500 rifle for a AR 180B, right? So,
and I agree with that 100%. I really do agree with that. My only counter to that is, set your price point so that where you need to set it so that you have good margins, and everything else, but don't cheap out on parts that are going to break, and then send extra parts, which is basically an admission that that it's not going to be suitable. And then when somebody calls you about the issue, brush them off.
Exactly.
That I don't think is really acceptable.
Yeah, and like I say, in Kodiak's, I guess, defense as well, is the fact like the guy was really nice, and we had a great conversation, and he explained it, but I fundamentally think that this is an issue that needs to be rectified. Like the fact that TNA is selling one with the brass bushing, the receiver in it, that somebody else in Canada has already fixed the problem. That's right. Like I think for me, that's where I'm like, really, like, or at the very least, if a person wants to have it like done, and hey, could I send it in, and could you guys put the brass bushing in for me? Right. And I did ask that question, and I was told absolutely not. so
because they don't support the brass bushing.
Right. Yeah.
Because they don't make it. It's liability. I can understand that.
I understand it, but I'm just saying, like, then do your own or figure out a way, maybe if there's a fix, or I'm willing to pay, right? Like, it's not that I want this shit for free. And I think that that's, for me, part of it as well. Like, I'm willing to give people money to do shit. I'm a strong believer in, like, you got to pay people for things, right? Like, that's that. But I just, anyway, it was one of those stories. I think that, I'm still a WK lover. I still love my rifle. I'm going to use it for the zombie apocalypse. There's no two ways about it. I'm going to take it out.
I'm reviewing mine and selling it as soon as the RDB comes in.
I am taking it out this winter. Now, this is going to be my thing, is I'm taking it out this fucking winter, and I'm going to go shoot things with it for hunting. And if it breaks, I'll let you know.
You're going on the war path.
No, I'll just let you know.
Just let you know.
I'll just let you know.
Fair enough.
All right, well, that makes sense.
Cool. There you go. All right.
I will say this though, their stock trigger better than the stock trigger that my Stag and my old AR came with.
And that's saying a lot.
I didn't get a Stag. I don't have a Stag. Never did.
Yeah, what are you talking about, Stag? I don't know what you're talking about.
Government knows about my AR though, so the trigger is better than the trigger that my AR came with.
Nice. Oh, right on. Well, good talk. Good stories.
Wonderful.
I didn't do anything.
A little bit complainy, but I mean,
yeah. I also shot Maple Seed event as well, so that was fun. If you haven't done Maple Seed yet, good. If you haven't done Maple Seed, you need to do Maple Seed. You got to come out. You got to shoot. Anybody can gain good skill. I don't know if Kris talked a lot about this, but we had some young kids out there learning brand new skills. We had people.
We haven't done a show since that Maple Seed.
No. So yeah, so we had kids out there learning great marksman skills. Teenagers
outshot their father.
Of course, yeah. Well, they're girls, so like girls just shoot better than guys. It's natural. And
everybody always says that, and I'm like, that is such a sexist thing to say.
No, it's not, because I'm bashing men, Kris.
Well, fuck off.
Oh God.
Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, I just everybody needs to go do Maple Seed. So reach out, find an event nearest you, sign up, learn some marksmanship skills. Like it improves everybody that goes. There's no two ways about it.
I think there's one in Regina at the end of August, isn't there?
There is August 15th. There's one actually at Sask Landing. I don't know if it's a private range or not.
No, that would be at their that'll be a good one. That's their long distance range. That's it goes out to 900 meters and 900
it's like 960 some odd yards.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But then when you're shooting to that distance, you're almost in the river as you're shooting to that distance. You're shooting into coulees, right? So
the entrance to the range is maybe 40-50 meters from the banks of the Sask River.
Oh yeah,
it's a beautiful range. It's just ridiculous.
Well, there's a ton of events going on this weekend. Looking at Maple Seed, we got July 10th, which is past. Battleford's had one. July 17th in Stittsville. July 17th, Lethbridge Fishing Game. 18th, Stittsville. 18th, Lethbridge Fishing Game. And I'm trying to load more events, but my internet sucks. So there we go. Chaz sold out the 24th. Sherwood Park, July 25th, sold out. Drumheller,
going hard.
September 4th. Yeah, it's going crazy. They haven't updated with their Regina Fishing Game one yet. But
Jens wants to know how the CCFR the Regina Fish and Game League open door day went.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was anticipating being camping right now, so I did not go.
Yeah.
I booked it off. But
unfortunately, I wasn't there because I'm in Saskatoon.
That's right. And John wasn't there when we went and hung out with him today. So
yeah.
But he's also laid up with his ankle. But still, I assume it went well, Jens. It always goes well. There's always a bunch of new shooters that come out. Basically, what it is anyone who wants can show up and shoot gun. You pay money to shoot guns, and it's just an open house for you to come and try stuff out and potentially buy a membership and support the club. So
I think CCFR is he a director now? Is that the title?
Yep, he is the director.
Matt Shirley should have come on the show and told us.
Yep, well,
he should have. Come on, Matt. Whatever. Come on.
Exactly. But yeah. Other than that, not
hey,
much else going on.
Speaking of, you went camping. Did you have a good time?
It was good. Got a lot of sun, as you can tell. My forehead I look semi-Mexican, so that's good. I don't know. I don't know.
You do?
Semi. Well, just the dark skin.
You look semi-Wolverine.
That's right. I know with the hair, I need a haircut. But no, it went well. First trip with the new To Us pop-up camper, and went well. Hot as balls. So
it is so hot. You know what Saskatoon is right now? Or when I got home from Regina, it was reading 36.5 degrees.
Gross.
And we had a 9 on the smoke index scale.
That's terrible.
The scale only goes to 10.
But, didn't have any dangers at the Indian Head Campground. Didn't need to pull out the old shotgun, so that's good.
That's good news, yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good trip. The inaugural camper. First night was a big thunderstorm, and I can see why people don't buy pop-up tent trailers anymore or that much. So, but no, went well.
Good
to hear.
Awesome.
Excellent.
You're also wearing a shirt that has something to do with Matt Shirley.
And pancakes.
Zero Fucks Pancakes. Restaurant coming to you in, I don't know, sometime around 2037.
Yeah. If you guys want...
When all three of us retire from our day jobs, we'll all open a restaurant, like maybe a truck stop diner.
Well, Mr. Breakfast.
Zero Fucks Pancakes.
Mr. Breakfast closed in Regina, in downtown there on North Albert.
You got to fill that void.
That's right.
I want to go to that restaurant.
I'm not coming to a shithole like Regina.
I want to go to that restaurant where the staff treat you like shit, but then yell back at them. I know it's like which one, but no, there's like legit this restaurant
in Vegas. Right?
Yeah, it's in Vegas, I think, maybe. Yeah,
like they literally put dunce caps on you and
they're like whatever, you fucking moron. I'll get you your order, and they're like they treat you like crap. Yeah, exactly. But then I'd like to get in an argument with them and like act like I didn't know what it was. Look at this friggin' place. Anyway,
should I make a Kodiak defense joke and say it's a Kodiak defense? I'm just joking. Kodiak,
we should probably say that even though I'm not impressed with the 180C and we had a little bit of a shaky experience with Kodiak. I mean, we'd have to acknowledge that they're a Canadian manufacturer, and if we don't support Canadian manufacturers, then they won't be around. And it's a bit of a tricky situation because you want to, it wasn't the best experience, but at the same time, I won't write off any Canadian manufacturer based on one experience.
Yeah.
Or one rifle, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I got to be honest with you, the BCL MRX Bison. That does look cool.
It does.
It does look like
what else will be cool when EM Precision brings out their little shorty on the CCS.
Are they doing it? Yeah.
Yeah, we had them on.
You know what I want? I want a tiny little 7.5-inch barrel, 300 blackout bolt action. That's what I want. And just put a stock on it that's long enough to be legal.
Theirs is coming in 300 blackout.
In 300 blackout. Well,
and it's got that
MRX
CCS
Bison.
collapsible stock, so it's like on the rails. It's got those two rails, kind of like
but it has to be OAL 26 inches though.
Yeah, and it will be.
But then put a linear compensator on it. It makes it a little bit less loud, and because we can't have suppressors. But man, that would be an awesome bush hunting gun.
100%.
Everybody talks about what's the best brush gun. I'm telling you right now, it's a 7.5-inch 300 blackout.
Well, let's not go too far.
Come on now.
7.5. You'll be shooting firebballs at them. They won't even feel the bullets.
No, not with subsonics.
There you go.
Subsonic 300 blackouts.
I remember I used to shoot ORA or Ontario Rifle Association CQB, and somebody showed up with one of those 7.5-inch NEA ARs.
Oh, yeah.
They're shooting modified prone on their right side. And all you just see they're shooting boom, boom and this thing had some obnoxious brake on it. And so it was literally digging a hole in the dirt and like spraying dirt in all directions. As he's laying modified prone, he got his hits, and then he gets up and there's just a crater where he was.
He probably had dirt all over his face.
Oh, and in the rifle and down his shirt. And it was unreal.
Yeah. There comes a point of diminishing returns, right?
Well, that's why you don't bring a 7.5-inch rifle to a rifle fundamentals match.
Well, especially not in 223.
Well, especially when it was designed for the 20-inch C7. right?
Yeah.
The course of fire was designed for. So
Exactly.
I miss that. We need to bring that AR. I have so many ARs that I can't use just for that. It's like, and that and 3-gun, and it's depressing.
We can do it with 180Cs, WK 180Cs.
Yeah, but I'm not buying one of those things. I just went to Bullseye and I was looking at buying one. I'm like, no.
You know what you can do? So Spectre Ballistics. So Spectre is who's making the MCR, which is the call it the major competitor in the AR 180 design market in Canada. They just came out with a lower receiver. What's that?
Oh yeah, because you can buy the upper from TNA and then get a lower from Spectre, right?
Yes. Yeah. And they've redesigned the lower so that it actually does not look that bad. I really want a question because you look at the 180C and even the MCR, there's quite a gap between the upper and the lower. And then of course, everybody does all those complainings about how open the receivers are on them and all this kind of good fun stuff. And you're still using the same MCR or 180C upper. But the lower looks a lot better.
I'm trying to find
they also said that it's compatible with AR 180B uppers.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering where you would get one of those.
Here, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen here.
Because the 180Bs still have the dust cover and everything on them, don't they?
Yes, I believe so. Okay, let me bring this in here. How do I bring? There we go.
Links 1808. What the frack is that?
So this is on Spectre Ballistics website, spectreballistics.com.
Oh, are they calling it the Lynx? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Lynx 180B lower receiver.
That does not come with a it's not it's stripped for that price.
Shooting the many 3-gun competitors one rifle. It's fully compatible with WK180C, WS-MCR, and Armalite 180B upper receivers. The Lynx 180B is lighter, higher quality than the competition, offering a quarter-pound weight savings over the WK180C and WS-MCR lower receivers. The Lynx 180B receiver does not include a trigger, magazine release, bolt hold open, grip, or safety. So you're just getting the lower.
Yeah.
So
but you know what, Sean? Okay.
What, Chris? What?
Let me share my screen. No, I don't need to share it. It doesn't matter. True North Arms stripped lower receiver for the WK 180C rifle, $459.99.
But then you got to get the bolt. So you're already.
Well, you're comparing stripped lower with stripped lower there. $299 versus $459.
Oh, really? I didn't see a stripped lower on True North Arms. If the website will ever load,
I don't think they're at they might be at a stock.
$299.95 plus.
Here, I'll share my screen.
If it'll load. Yeah, go for it. Now as soon as I stop sharing my screen, it loads.
Of course it did. All right, so there, right there.
This is great radio.
It says what?
Wow.
$459.
Yeah. So I wonder if this is 3D printed out of polymer like most of the Spectre stuff is, though.
I don't know. Well, no, it's not polymer. They've doesn't it say on it that it's 7075? I'm pretty sure their post on Facebook said they were making it out of 7075.
Well, let me take a look here.
Like that's taking the market by storm, though. At that price, like I mean, come on.
Well, but then you got to supply all the parts where it's going to be cheaper.
You have to with the 180C lower as well, though.
Oh well, if you're into that sort of thing, go for it.
Hey, you know what though? Like,
I'm going to Spectre too.
This might just be the next evolution of the Canadian AR 180.
That's actually what I was going to say. Is I think what's happening is, and I'm excited for it because at least there's some movement around this platform. If other companies can get into it and start, allowing us to mix and match and build out guns at a, like we used to be able to. Hey, I'm all for it at the end of the day, because I think that's fundamentally what we've run into, right? Is they've now reduced what's available for folks, so people are just going to now produce what we can still, still use and that's modular. So, and I think that's the big thing that I like is, Christ, if you can do this and build it out your way, that to me is exciting.
100%.
And even like right now with my WK, there's a lot of stuff that I still want to do, swap the trigger and do this, that, and the other thing. But man, if there's like uppers and lowers and shit that I can, and once I get my barrel nut off, fuck, man, the world is my oyster.
Yeah. You'll laugh all the way to the bank there. But no, I don't see anything on their Facebook, Kris, about what type.
I thought it was maybe in a comment or something. I thought I had saw. I could be out to lunch though. I'm actually just kind of looking too, but I would expect that it's at least in 6061 aluminum. I can't imagine they would bring it out in anything softer than what their original MCR lower.
And if the if the upper was 6061, that might be a problem. Right, because you got to torque.
Yeah.
God.
Well, the upper is 6061. Both the MCR and the 180C are 6061 aluminum uppers. The only difference is that the MCR has that steel sleeve where the charging handle reciprocates.
True, but when you're torquing that barrel nut down to the receiver, it's going to pose an issue, especially if there's that little groove in that slides into the channel like this, right?
Yeah.
Like this.
I honestly, I'm not a fan of 6061 uppers. I know that so many companies make them, but when I bought and built my AR-15, I specifically went with a 7075 aluminum upper. A major reason why I was going to go with the Stag.
You know what?
10,
I'm going to reach out to these guys and see if I can get them on the show.
That's a great idea.
That'd be great. Bring them on and let's talk about it.
That's right. Well, I'll do that after, but that's cool. Well, 180, as long as we got something, right? And it's not my cup of tea, but if that's yours, fuck, go for it. Like,
what I would love is if this spurred Kodiak to step up their game. And
competition breeds success.
Let's get something going here because, everybody becomes a winner there. I don't think anybody can say that the Canadian consumers did not support the WK180C and the WSMCR. I think that it would be fantastic to see that really take off. Maybe even get another Canadian company or two to start making parts. TNA is already making some parts. Get a little bit more aftermarket support. Let's make the AR-180 the AR-15 for Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Canada's gun, exactly.
Make it Canada's gun. Yeah, I love it.
Because it's not like we're not going to have a wild boar problem in the next 10 years.
We do have a wild boar problem.
We already do in Saskatchewan.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's fucking brutal here.
We do in eastern Alberta too.
There's literally signs up on the way to Regina. Well, you probably saw it. There's literally signs up on the way to Regina with pictures of boar, and they're like, "These fuckers are pests. Get them!"
That's what the city of Regina paid for those signs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as a hunter, you can't shoot enough of them. In my opinion.
No, you can't.
Because
while you're shooting two of them, 3 pairs of them are breeding 6 feet to your right and popping out 18 more.
Absolutely.
Every 6 months.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, it's brutal.
All right, guys. Well, we should start wrapping this show up. I appreciate you coming on, Mark and Kris.
Hey, absolutely. I'm always happy to be on the show.
I'm just going to close the show by saying that in the apocalypse, we will all eat pig.
That's right.
Lots of pig.
Until we run out of pig.
We're going to hunt them with our WKs.
And then we go to long pig.
Except not in the winter, though, because we have nylon bushings.
That's right.
Exactly.
We'll just hibernate. We're all growing beards out for that reason.
In the winter, we're going to hunt them with SIG crosses.
Swiss rifles, yeah, that's right.
But only from 50 meters away because Jens thinks I wouldn't be able to hit them from any further than that.
Well, if you're looking to get better hunting with your SIG cross, you can use the app or the website ScoutVid, and it's an interactive platform for you to film your stuff, send it to your coach. What if you got a kid in hockey, Mark? I know you got kids coming up. If they want to do a little demo vid when they get into martial arts,
sounds great.
They put it together for you from profiles to highlight reels. We put you front and center in whatever world you're in. Whether you're just getting into the sport or looking to make an impression on a junior club or semi-pro or whatever, ScoutVid gives you the tools to get noticed. So welcome to the show. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, the website, scoutvid.com. What else?
Before we go, we have to let everybody know this upcoming week is the last week to be able to get an entry to win the Canuck FD12 shotgun. Hang on one second. I should have brought it out earlier.
We're almost there. We almost hit our goal. So I think.
Nice.
I think.
What do we need? Do you know?
Well, I just want to beat Slamfire. That's all.
That is hey, competition breeds success.
That's right.
Should I clear this for the criers?
Nope, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just don't put a hole through your wall. That's all.
Well, there's no magazine in it. Like, come on now. I don't put guns in my safe that have ammunition in them. Let's just acknowledge that for a moment. This is the Canuck FD12. You can win this bad mama jamma.
That
right
exact
here.
gun right there.
The exact gun. I'll even clean it for you before I send it out.
Well,
if you'd like to know more about this gun before you decide whether you'd like to have it or not, then go to our YouTube channel. I did a very comprehensive review on this particular shotgun right here. I actually am a little bit disappointed that we decided to give this away because I kind of would like to keep it.
Well, buy a couple entries, Chris. You got a chance.
I might have to. Well,
$10.
is this like a one of those Canada Post draws or where I can't enter because I work for the company or something?
I mean, it probably wouldn't.
Could you imagine if I did that and I ended up winning it? Like,
oh my God,
some shady shit right there.
I would scream bloody murder from the top of
I wouldn't blame you. That would be shady as hell.
Bullshit.
But the thing is, we can't rig it because we're using random.org and a spreadsheet to do it. So all we're going to do is put your names in a list or like in rows, take the number of rows from 1 or from 2 to whatever, plug that into the range of random.org, and it's going to pick a random number. So
yeah. But I'm still not going to do. I'll get another one someday. Or what I may end up doing is saving up for a Spectre and then do a review on the Spectre as well, and then probably give that one away too. Who knows? I don't know. I'm a generous motherfucker.
But how can people enter, Chris?
Well, people enter by donating to the CCFR Legal Fund. Make a minimum $10 donation to the CCFR Legal Fund. Redact the personal information because we don't want to know what your credit card information is or where you live, and send us a picture, a screenshot of your donation confirmation, and you get entered. That's like, it's really that simple. We're doing this as a way to try and help the people who are trying to keep our guns for us, who, like, I don't know, maybe actually have a chance at it. So if we get to give away a cool gun to cool people for making a cool donation, I can sleep at night knowing
that's right.
That.
Doing our part, right?
So
trying to get it going, and you guys can do your part by going to firearmrights.ca, donating $10, and then sending us that receipt, and you can win that cool shotgun right there. So,
and if you want to win more, donate more.
That's right. Every $10 gets you one entry. So,
and just donate whatever your heart and your wallet tells you to.
You bet. Right on. Mark, do you have any shout outs this week?
Well, not any shout outs. I guess I kind of already did them. Shout out TNA for all of their good customer service, and just shout out to the Maple Seed people. So the instructors, the program across the country, they're doing good work, and they are educating the masses in good marksmanship. And if we can get programs like that out in the world, out in this country, the more people can learn about guns, the safer they're going to be, and the less people will freak out about them. So I think it's important. So that's what I got to say there.
Cool. Chris, who do you got to shout out?
I'm going to shout out Adrian Michaud, the hunting gear guy, and for one reason and one reason only, because a couple of days ago, several eons ago, his mother gave birth to him. So I'm just going to shout him out because it was his birthday. And so here's the crazy thing. On his birthday, he released like gun videos. So like, that's a dedicated dude right there. So I'm just going to shout out
guys
Adriel
on their birthday were camping and not doing any work. So
honestly, Sean, I would have been you. I would not have been Adriel.
Nope, my phone was off and putting things away, but right on.
Yeah.
Well, my shout out is to Bullseye. They got your SIG cross really quick. no questions asked, no problems.
And honestly, they're just a dream to work with every time we order. Like,
100%.
I don't know why we don't have a sponsorship with them, but why we just keep, but yeah, they're just they're very quickly becoming my favorite retailer in the country.
Very quickly, and anyway. But guys, if you haven't already, visit us at facebook.com/FFP podcast. Leave us a review wherever you get your show, whether it's Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. I haven't checked to see if we gotten any because I kind of just threw this together today. I think we're going to start moving back to Tuesdays just because my kids' lacrosse is wrapping up soon, and so we'll be going back there.
We're just trying to find the day that works is all.
Yeah, and we don't want to take over someone else's time slot, right? So
summer is one of those times as well.
You bet. You can also message the show on Facebook or email it to us, info@ffpp.ca. If you email it or have a question, we'll read it on air and answer your question on air. And I'm not sure without Kurt here. Kurt's kind of the technical guy. Kris is somewhat technical, and I just turn money into noise. So, but yeah, give us a shout out. Give us an email.
You also book all the guests and do all the video and audio editing and.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Also, we have a kick-ass website, ffpp.ca, www.ffpp.ca. Was built for us by Duncan at Boomstick Media. So check us out there. We got articles always coming out. We got YouTube videos. Kris is doing his Grey Birch. It'll be on the website too. Things like that. So check us out on there. Yeah. Also, big shout out to John Johnston for the music that we didn't play on the intro. God damn.
We forgot all about that. We didn't even have Jerry Mitchell.
Well, then we should play it as the outro.
That's right. That's right here. I'm just going to get it on cue. Podcast outro. There we go. And then, shout out to John Johnston. He has a sweet guitar in stock right now that he just finished. Go to JohnstonCustomGuitars.com. If you buy it, he'll give you 10% off. And we don't even get anything out of that. He's just an awesome guy. So check him out there, JohnstonCustomGuitars.com. And yeah, we'll be a little more organized. We'll see you next week.
Hot diggity.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.